Good evening and welcome to the Look Finance SEQFC Preview Show with thanks to Vilic Law. Tonight we got a bit of a rotating roster. I'm Joey Lee as always. Luckily we've had someone new join us, Mr. Phil Davis. We've got Tony as always and Liam joining us. Phil, welcome.
Hello there, Joey. You're a good-looking man, I tell you. I see you on this little box thing, and I'm like, oh my God.
You're probably the first person to ever murmur those words in the history of the world, so I love you with all my heart.
You know, you take it where you can get it, mate. And look, let's be honest.
Oh dear. Let's get on with the show.
Let's get on, Liam. Let's get on with the show. We'll kick off with the NPL and Tony. Tony,
Yes.
what are you looking forward to this weekend? What have we got to keep an eye out for?
Strikers power.
Strikers power. Interesting. What do you think plays factors in that? Some interesting form from both clubs lately.
2 weeks ago, I thought the Strikers were very poor, and then they knocked off Olympic, and then they shocked us all on the weekend by beating Lions.
For two big scalps.
Yes.
So what turned that around, Tony? Oh, I can't figure it out. What do you reckon turned it around?
They seem to be a very well-structured side. Now, against Olympic had the run of the play, could not score a goal.
Yeah.
And then against Lions, they were a totally different team altogether.
I know. Look, I watched the highlights as well, and I just, it's look, if they go on and win the league, you know.
I don't know about winning the league. They've got a long way to go from that yet.
Well, that's true, but what about Power? Can they win the league? What do you reckon?
I watched them on the weekend against Moreton Bay.
Yeah.
They won convincingly 3-0. But I don't think I've seen a worse performance from Moreton Bay in a long time.
Right.
Something's not right there.
Yeah.
They started off like a house on fire, and they've hardly got a point since they've come back.
So does that you think Power just walked over a bad side? It's a great game. I mean, we all follow it. Power Strikers, what a great game this weekend. Where are you going to be, Liam, this weekend?
I will be at the Ipswich Derby for the FQPL with Pride and Knights. That's where I'll be. I'll certainly be keeping an eye on the games. I think I would be thinking that Penn Power would get over Strikers this week. I think just moving on a bit, I think Redlands as well. Look, they're I think they're second bottom against Gold Coast. Look, I'm not sure where Redlands are at the moment. Gold Coast, I think, will get that one. But I think the only other real match apart from the Penn Power Strikers match, I think the other one I watched will be Moreton Bay and East. So I think both teams have got after Eastern Suburbs lost versus Wanderers at home last week. I think Eastern Suburbs are really going to want to bounce back. Moreton Bay are going to, they've got so form as we talked. So I think they'll have another good.
That the team that loses that won't make the finals. That's kind of my theory. I was looking through that.
I think Eastern Suburbs. I think that was a bit of a blip for them last week. I think versus Wanderers. I think they'll come on strong. But Tony, Moreton Bay. Look, they were like even last season they were a bit their form wasn't that good. They were inconsistent. I know
they had some great performances last year, but they were inconsistent.
They were very inconsistent.
Started off this year well as well.
Yeah.
And now the wheels have fallen off.
Yeah.
What about you, Joey? Any games there for you, do you think?
I think the big one, and especially this year with the NPL finally being a year a bit more balanced out, I'm keeping an eye out. And I know on paper it doesn't sound like the closest game, but Lions versus Wanderers. First versus 13th. It's a bit of a stretch, the whole league between them. But, Wanderers, you saw the firepower last year. They did plenty of great things. And, I think it'll definitely be an interesting test.
Yeah, I think Wanderers especially they'll be pretty keen to back up after their surprising win against Eastern Suburbs last week. So they'll go in there with their tails up. Lions will be their usual class. So
I actually backed Wanderers to beat East last week, because I've been sort of following what they've been doing, and they're just improving and getting better. I really think Paul Arneson's a great coach, and he's got that squad, and they nearly beat the Strikers. They've got that guy coming in this week, that Mitch Cooper, is it? Something? Anyway, Cooper? Anyway, who played for the Jets. He just come back from the New South Wales Premier League, winning what's the team in Tony? What's the team in New South Wales? Eastleigh or something. What is it? They won the grand final.
In New South Wales?
Yeah. Anyway, look,
Anyway,
I think Wanderers are actually playing in a style like Lions.
Well, I think that might be one to watch. That game, obviously, is on Saturday at 6 p.m. at Lions Stadium. As Tony mentioned off the call, he may not be able to attend, but
no, right.
I'm sure it'll be a game to get out to. Moving on from there, Liam, you foreshadowed it a little bit. I think it may be game of the weekend, maybe the best one to get out to. I know last week I mentioned we hear too much about derbies, but for me, this is great. Outside of the FFA Cup for the first time, I believe. Who is it?
Yes. It's the Ipswich Knights and Pride are playing out at Briggs Road. It's a home game for Western Pride. Yeah, you are right. As far as head-to-head goes, they've played plenty of pre-season friendlies over the years, they've played them twice. They've played in the FFA Cup twice. Knights have defeated Pride, but I think
incredible games. Yeah.
Yeah, in the FFA Cup games. Yeah. It's going to be it's going to be an interesting matchup, this one, because you got two opposite ends of the spectrum. Knights have they've had 4 games in the last 2 weeks, so I think they're going to be enjoying this break for the week leading up to the game. So they sit on 9 games, 4 wins, 2 draws, 3 losses, and the reports from the match that I personally didn't get to the match, but I've spoken to people and read the media. The match versus Mitchelton that they played just on the weekend, where they lost 1-0 against Mitchelton. Word is that Knights were giving Mitchelton a good run, but they were superior in all the stats. But Mitchelton just held strong with them on that one. Look, the game before that they drew with Southside Eagles 1-1, which was a bit of a shock to all of us. Even as a Pride supporter myself, that was a night that we recorded last week, Tony. And if you remember that one, where it was 1-1, and that was a bit of a shock. I don't think that they would have been happy with that. Maybe they were starting to get a few heavy legs coming in from the heavy schedule, but I think and then on the flip side, you've got Pride who are coming off 2 wins, and they've had a 10-day break from the game that was this time last week, leading up to Saturday. That they've had 10 days off, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. It means either that sometimes you've got to keep that momentum going, and so it could be good or bad. But look, I'll just get some stats for you here. There's 6 ex-Western Pride players that currently are in the starting lineup for Knights. So look, they were Michael Morrow, Ben Barrett, Josh Wilson, and Aaron Midkiff were all in Pride's squad last season. At the 3 of those 4 left partway through the season. Michael Morrow left at the end of the season. So, especially with those 4, it's going to be a real meaty kind of meeting, if you know what I mean. Like, because they left partway through the season purely because they just weren't getting a game time because there was I guess Pride obviously wanted to stay up, so they were basically bringing in other players to try and stay up. So these guys, yeah.
You're a Pride man, right?
Yeah. Well, a supporter. I'm not involved in the club per se.
Yeah, you're a Pride supporter.
Yeah.
And the Knights are going all right at the moment. Do you feel that they're actually a better team than the Pride at the moment?
I think they're pretty evenly matched at the moment. Look, Knights play some pretty good football. Like I said, you got those ex-Pride players that are in the squad.
Yeah.
And they've basically, some of them have been there since they were juniors. So, look.
I was at that. Like, I'm just going to announce that I'm Rochdale's media liaison just now. But I was at the Knights Rochdale game.
Yeah.
And Knights looked really well drilled, and they got Andy Ogden as coach.
Yep.
And even though, if I was to look at the two lineups, I would probably on paper think that the Pride were better.
Look, Pride had a bit of since the start of the season, they've been a bit inconsistency as well. They're looking for some more consistency in their play. The last two games, the last game especially, they've really found some form, and they're playing some good one-touch football. But prior to that, they were kind of missing a bit in the back line, and so they had a few results there that that they were frustrated with. Like I think one of the games there was a report that one of the guys came off pretty upset. I think it was a game against Holland Park where they were ahead and they ultimately lost the game. So it was a bit emotional towards the end there, So look,
hey Tony, I've just got to sorry, Liam, but
right.
Western Pride, right? You know who's out at the Pride now?
Who?
Dazzles, mate. Isn't he, Liam? Dazzles is the new Pride guy.
Dazzles. What do you mean Dazzles?
Ian Dalzell.
He's in Dalzell.
Oh, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
It just came to me, and I went, well, Tony knows who Dazzles is. How's he going out there? He's one of my great friends. And
one of your few friends, not great friends, one of the friends that you've got in
Oh, yeah, well, you're not one of them.
Oh, no.
I saw him at the Knights game. He was looking at me and going,
let's get over the boys.
Down to Brighton. What do we think? Liam, who's your pick for this game?
I think it'll be a hard-fought game. I think it'll be a 1-0 game, and I think Pride will get it.
Pride? Phil, how do you feel? You had some pretty good points. You sounded you're swaying Pride's way. What do you think?
Yeah, I think 3-1 Knights.
3-1 Knights?
Knights are better drilled, and Pride is so inconsistent this season. They look good, they look bad, and, the last time out, I just wasn't convinced. So, look, the Knights are a well-drilled side, and I think Andy Ogden is the key to that. If they get injuries, their squad is shallow. But I'm tipping the Ipswich Knights 3-1.
Yeah, it's going to be a fiery game for sure.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, Tony?
I actually won't be there. I'd love to be there.
Knights 2-1 and 2 red cards.
Oh,
I never thought of red cards. I never thought of cards.
Different one, but that's a different one to the equation.
Come on, Tony. You're the betting man. You're saying that the Knights will win 2-1 and they will still get 2 red cards as well.
2 red cards in the game, whether it's Knights, 1 each, whatever.
Look, my thing is if the Pride's back three, if they can, back line, not back three, but whatever, it could be back four, I don't know. But Pride's back line, I think if they can play as well as they did last week, and if the front three, due to Yoon and Jackson, if they can fire like they did, I think they'll be hard to stop. I think Pride have had the bigger break. Knights will be, they'll become. I mean, it's a derby, man. Whether it's Liverpool or Everton, it doesn't matter. You always live for a derby, no matter what.
I don't know about the 10-day break. I'd prefer to be playing every week.
Well, not unless Cato had him playing an inter-club match, which he might have done. I haven't heard whether they did. I never asked.
I see a lot of stuff, Football Queensland, right, and other entities, and it's like, it's the big derby game. I don't know. But there aren't that many derbies, but one of them is Knights versus Pride, and one of them is Rochdale versus Logan. I think they're actually now the modern day 2 most feisty derbies.
Yeah.
I know the Logan and the Rochdale boys were well-behaved, well-structured football. Let's see if the Ipswich boys can make it a bit more crazy this weekend, a bit more entertainment as Tony's predicted.
That's at Eric Evans, isn't it?
No, it's at Briggs.
It's at
What time's it
Yeah.
on? What time's it on?
7 o'clock
Yeah.
Saturday night, boys.
I'll have to get my visa checked out. See if I can get a visa to get out there.
I'll be at Perry Park.
Well, we might see if there's something a bit closer to home. Moving on to the BPL. Phil, I thought the game to watch was Centenary Willawong 4v2 on Friday night, but you corrected me. I think you've called out another one. What game would that be on Saturday?
Oh, I can't remember. What was it again?
Right. Thistle.
Ringa Rovers versus Grange Thistle. Yeah, but look, the Friday game's important as well. It's very important. I've seen both teams, Centenary and Willawong. I was at Willawong the other day. I've seen them twice, and it's a very interesting game. It's a real slip-up game for Willawong because they're doing really, really well at the moment. Bayside are overperforming. They've had fortunate circumstances. But Centenary have got some really great players. They've got Shohil Khan and they've got, who else is there?
Who's who? Phil Zabax, I'm pretty sure.
Zabax, you got Mingotti's there, and, and they're a quality side, but they look like they're just having fun now. So you never know what you're going to get. Against the Gap, they probably should have won easily, but they were just kind of, yeah. But with Willawong, they really want to win this title. I fancy that all the pressure is on them. Mm-hmm. And I suspect we might see a draw at the end of that. I think it might be 2-2. Yeah. But the other game on Saturday, which is Taringa Rovers, I saw them on Saturday playing against the Gap, against Grange, who I haven't seen yet, but I've seen the highlights. But if you look at those two sides, if you look at Grange's side all the way through, Mayberry, Batty, Gamande, Bailey, it's probably, arguably, the best team in the BPL.
Well, Grange has been a measuring stick, haven't they, over the past few seasons in the BPL? They've had some good success, consistent form, haven't really missed too many beats.
Well, Ace would probably argue that to an extent, but yeah, and so they're up against Taringa. Taringa played the Gap, 20 corners to 2, and they lost 3-2 to the Gap. Now, corners you can't win a game of corners, right? But the way that what actually happened was that there were the Gap were up 2-0 from a lucky penalty and a drive from 25 yards in the top corner. But Taringa dominated the game. But the amount of corners came down to the fact that the best two players on the field were Garrity and Beedman in the middle of the Gap defence. So they effectively played 5 all day. But you can't get away with that forever. Now, Taringa are really good going forward. Karen Basses is excellent. Ash Taramanathan, they've got a quality squad. But the key to the game, I thought the other night, was that Liam Klein. Everyone knows Tony, you know Liam Klein, don't you?
Best beard in Brisbane, if I'm thinking of the...
In Brisbane. He looked shaky from the start and he gave up their second goal. And it was... if I was Grange, I'd be going through there. So we might find two teams trying to kick the ball as long as they can and see who can out-head it. That's my guess. And I'm tipping that to be a 12-all draw. No, I'll tip...
Tanya versus Narangba again, Phil.
Grange 2-1. Grange 2-1 in that one.
2-1 to Grange.
Yeah.
Moving on from there, I don't mean to mean any offence for Capital League 1, but for myself, it's pretty mixed bag this weekend. So I think looking for myself, I've got to give a shout out for something more off the pitch than on the pitch. A few weeks ago, Mount Gravatt, they put forward to obviously try your best. And if you are getting out to football in these times, invest in that $5, buy a beer, buy a burger, whatever it may be. They're playing at home at 6 o'clock against the Lakes on Saturday night. Boys, anything else stand out for yourselves?
Haven't really had time to have a look this weekend. I'm sure there'll be a million things. I always follow Logan Metro. It's my club down the road. I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah.
Cap 1, I think with Western Spirit, they're down the bottom. They've had a very disruptive start to the campaign with coaches and everything. But they've made three signings this week: Nick Brown, Angus Swang, and Joel Fernandez. So there'll be 3 new guys in there they'll be wanting to make a difference for them.
Well, I know they're playing away to Brisbane Athletic on Sunday, so that'll hopefully change their fortune. That's 4th Athletic versus Western Spirit, who currently 11th.
Yes.
So, interesting form this year. Could be a bit of a change in the wins for them.
Yeah. Look, if they're not careful, they could be relegated, and you could have Pine Hills or Ripley Valley come up. I know, Tony, you think Pine Hills will be up there.
Fantastic segue, and we'll move on to that. Tony, your boys, how are they going in Cap 2? Leo Siriardi's Misfits, what are they? They I think they're the reverse to that. You told us they're coming together quite well, and they're still finding.
Play since COVID, but I tell you, I still think it's theirs to lose.
Yes.
Well, it's hardly unexpected, Tony, since they got the best team in the league.
You don't win anything on paper.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you what I reckon, Tony. I reckon. Right. All right. Are you ready? Right.
Yeah.
If they lose the league, right, everyone in Brisbane wrapped, because you got the best bloody team.
There's some big words and a big
Valley.
I know last week we spoke of Tony.
I love you, Leo Sirianni. I love you, brother. You know I love it, don't you, Tony? You do.
Everybody loves Leo, mate.
Keep going, Joey. Keep going.
We got them Saturday night. They're obviously top of the table, unbeaten. They're going up against Slacks Creek, so that's 1v5, 7 o'clock Saturday. So I think that'll be probably game of the round that we're looking at. I don't want to be too heavy on Pine Hills. That's down at Pine Hills, Tony.
I'll be at that game on Saturday night, boys. I'll report
7 p.m., mate.
Yeah, I know you will. I won't be. I'll be at Southside Eagles, mate. You know their ground, Tony? Perry Park.
Yeah, I went there in 2004.
I hear the cuisine's quite good there, Tony.
Actually, I think Southside Eagles are actually playing. They're playing Perry Park. I think.
Yeah, they're playing Perry Park now. The home of German football, Tony.
Okay.
Yeah, Perry Park, best right style. Yeah.
Cap 3. I don't know. Can we spoke about one derby. I don't know if they're close enough. Can we debate this? Is it a derby, boys? Redcliffe versus Narangba. Narangba, obviously, I think it's a pretty big consensus that they're going very, very well, maybe too well for Cap 3. Is this a derby, and what do you boys think of this? Obviously, Redcliffe sitting in 4th, Narangba in 1st.
Well, off the top of my head, Narangba, back in the day, they were up and down, and they kind of look like that, but they've got such good facilities, you'd imagine, from Cap 3, at some point they're going to attract enough players to turn to Cap 2.
Liam, your thoughts?
Well, look, I'm going to be honest, Joey, and tell you that I haven't really had a good look at Cap 3. I was mainly involved in FQPL, so flick onto the next one. I'm sorry.
I've got a quiet little look. I know there's some good clubs in there. As I mentioned earlier, Bethania had a 14-goal banger with them the other week. Unluckily, didn't pick up any points last weekend. But I think at the moment it's interesting. We talk about Pine Hills and Ripley in Cap 2. I think this one, so far, we got undefeated. So we got Logan Village, another one of the Logan clubs that we like to get behind, versus Springfield United as well. They're Sunday at 6. So I think might be one of those 2-horse races again, Narangba, Springfield. Both teams haven't dropped a point.
Logan Village will never, ever get promoted.
Holy.
Whoa.
Phil, he's controversial, isn't he? He's controversial.
Tell you what.
Well, they won't. Oh, well, it's controversial, but they know I love them, all of them.
Someone said in 2006 that Olympic will never get promoted as well.
They got relegated. Olympic got relegated once.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Joey.
Oh, don't be sorry to me. Be sorry to Logan Village. I think they deserve a bit more than that.
Yeah.
But I know they're not your Logan Metro, your local club. I know they're doing good things.
Yeah, well, they're doing pretty good, but they lost last week. But yeah, it's all good. I kind of follow them and a lot of the kids around the area, because there's a lot of Africans. I kind of live in African Muslim Central, And it's fantastic because where I live, all the kids were walking around with footballs and they're wearing football jerseys. And where everyone else, you lot probably live, they're wearing rugby league jerseys. It's a wonderful thing, and it's just up the road. Used to be Rotorua, and the people who run it, I can't remember her name, and she'll kill me, but if you want to look at quality, if you want to look at social media and how to produce a club, Logan Metro's the best.
Is Sam Escobar, is he still involved with the club? Because I know he was doing good things with the Brisbane Roar back in the day, and he spent some time across there.
I think he's a coach, isn't he? I'm not entirely sure. I kind of know the African guys that play there, the young African guys, the friends of my friends that are African, and I'm always hearing about them, and they do, yeah. So, but Sam Escobar, yeah, I'm not sure.
That's right. We might give Logan Metro a shout.
Wasn't he a cocaine deal? Oh no, that's Pablo.
They're not going to get promoted anyway, so who cares?
Ticking over 10 o'clock, so we can talk about the harder stuff soon, maybe. Little shout out. I know they're playing KPR in Cap 2. That's 3v10. So KPR currently sitting 10th. Logan Metro sitting 3rd. So that's Saturday evening. That'll be not Saturday evening. Sorry, Saturday evening.
That's at Metro?
So no, that's at KPR. That's got the party out towards the city. If
Love that.
Entertaining game, that might be worth getting to before the Ipswich derby.
Yeah. Well, if you get down to KPR, walk down from the Pineapple Hotel, and there's these big concrete structures there, and you look at them and you think, what the hell are they? They were air raid shelters from the Second World War. When you were in the war, weren't you, Tony?
Yeah. Just
On that note, I might let you boys reminisce. It seems like you got a bit of catching up.
Hey, Joey, just quickly, mate. Though, if for whatever out there reason that you don't want to watch the Ipswich Derby, the other option for a good game in the FQPL will be Mitchie versus Thunder. It's first versus fourth. So just that's at 6 o'clock, and that's one of only I think 1 or 2 away games to Thunder. So it'll be interesting to see how they go on the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, of course, you can go to Perry Park and watch Southside Eagles get beaten by Rochelle Rovers. Go the Rovers!
There's options everywhere. That's options.
I think this will be the weekend for the FQPL boys.
Hey, will score this week.
Oh, you should see. Oh, we'll talk about it later, thanks. Before you go, can I just do one shout out? Because I only do this once. And hello, David. Hello, Daniel. And hello, Superman. They know who they are.
Okay. And thank you, Gary McKenzie, our Pride Stats man, for making me sound smarter than I am.
Oh, I need someone for me for that one, Liam. I might see who I can recruit for next week.
No worries, mate. No worries.
Thank you to Leo Sirianni for all the sausage rolls.
Leo. Phil, thank you for your attendance this week. It was a pleasure. Tony.
Great. I've had a great time. If you need me in the future, you let me know. And I've seriously had a great time. I've never met you in the flesh, Liam. I'll meet you at some point. Joey, you know I love you. I'll give you a kiss. And Tony, well, I can't get rid of you.
Thank you again, Liam. Thank you. If you're out, will you be out at Pride this weekend?
Oh, absolutely, mate. I'm having a bit of a pub crawl before I head there with some of the other pit guys. So it's going to make the Loosener a lot of fun.
Well, I know the pit are doing good work. One of the active support in Southeast Queensland. I know between them and Olympic, they've got some of the best turnouts. Yes. So I always love seeing those games with those boys out there cheering on. We might wrap it up there. So thank you, boys.
Thanks,
guys. And thank you, Finance, for the SEQFC Preview Show with thanks to Vilic Law. That's another one wrapped up, boys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.